The Oklahoma City Thunder used to be a powerhouse, but back in 2019, the team blew itself by trading Paul George and Russell Westbrook. And it seems like it was a good decision after all, because the Thunders are back to dominate the NBA. Well, maybe not just yet, but it's close enough. The team has been getting better overall. Their recent picks are showing themselves to be worthy, and with a shooter worthy of Stephen Curry's legacy, there's absolutely nothing they're missing. I would dive deeper into the Thunder's path to dominance, but you're probably too hung up on that last path to follow. So before you ask, yeah, you heard that right. The Thunders have someone that might as well be the next Stephen Curry, or better. The team still has a long way to go before it's considered to be one of the NBA's greatest threats. And while there are a lot of other players that'll help with the journey, there is one person in particular who is the key: Josh Giddey. The Thunders have not looked back since they picked him.
Like out there on the floor to be able to make that kind of that mental or physical switch that you did.
Yeah, obviously slow start for us, both ends of the floor, I think. Defensively, we had a game plan coming in, like we always do, and I think it's obviously a bit different when you're playing Golden State with so many, perimeter threats and guys that they have. And, one of our big emphasis was not get back cut, not let them slip to the rim. And first quarter, they got whatever they wanted. Draymond was kind of quarterbacking out of, the high post and picking us apart. So once we cleaned that up, we looked good. I mean, we played them for 3 quarters pretty straight. And I think we were right there with them. We got it to a 2-point game and had a chance to win it. But, our first quarter was, not good enough. They got what they wanted offensively. And offensively for us, we didn't, get enough.
And no, he wasn't always the person he is now. I mean, sure, he was still a very good player, but you wouldn't look at him and go, this is a legend in the making, right? Well, his sophomore season saw him improve his stats by 2 points every game. Talk about real improvement. And that's not even the end. He also improved his shooting percentages drastically. And by drastically, I mean 3% to 48.4% from the field and 32.6% from 3, up 4% on the year. And sure, that's great and all, but where does Stephen come in? Well, Giddey gave Curry a taste of his own medicine. You know how Stephen is famous for shooting right over the opponent.
Our season is gone. There's questions about the heightened sense of urgency of every detail matters, and when you want something really bad, like just getting a win, and then fourth quarter execution, clutch time type situation, all that stuff does matter. So I reacted in a way that obviously put myself out of the game and put the team in a tough place, but the intentions and the energy around what matters in the sense of...
Yeah, that's what Josh did. And guess who the opponent was? Yep, none other than Steph Curry himself. I bet shooting a mid-range step-back 2 over one of the greatest shooters in NBA history felt great. And if you're wondering exactly how this happened, well, Josh had a layup blocked, and Curry managed to retaliate by sinking a 26-foot three-point jumper. Giddey, of course, wasn't going to let him have all the fun, and shot the shot with just 2 minutes left before the finish of the fourth quarter. I mean, it's not like he completely outclassed Curry. The Warriors' star still shone bright as always. He scored 38 points, 12 assists, and 8 rebounds, and the Thunders lost by 8 points. Still, it's not every day that you give Stephen Curry, of all people, a taste of his own medicine. And sure, it's not much, but it's an honest start. And if Josh is careful, it'll go far. Far enough for him to have a legacy of his own, but that's still a long time away. Right now, let's focus on the details of this game. And of course, what the man of the moment had to say about it. Josh mentioned that the first thing the team focused on was not letting the Warriors slip the rim. Their opponent played pretty well in the first quarter, probably because the Thunders were trying to gauge how to go against them. And well, they ended up letting the Warriors get away with a lot of things, like Draymond completely picking them apart. But they managed to get their bearings soon enough. And by the time the second quarter rolled in, they were doing much better. For the next 3 quarters, things were, well, smooth. The two teams played on almost equal levels. Enough that if their first quarter had gone better, the Thunders could have been the ones going home as victors. Once, it was even a 2-point game. Yep, it was that close. But hey, better luck next time. Who knows? This may as well serve as the foundation for the Oklahoma City Thunder becoming a much better team. Now, a lot of people might have been blown away by how the Thunders performed. By no means does it mean that the Warriors played disappointingly. In fact, Warriors head coach Steve Kerr was quite satisfied with his team's performance.
That was fun. That was probably the most fun I've had watching our team play all year. It's just so many great individual performances, and fun to see, some of the guys who don't play much get out there and do well. And it's definitely a feel-good night for our team. I mean, we feed off Clay all the time, but in in particular on a night like tonight where we're, down early and giving up a lot of points. And I thought OKC really came out and hit us in the mouth right away, 9-2 right out of the gate. You could tell they were playing with a lot of energy and pace, and Clay just kept us in it early with his shot making and allowed us to kind of find our groove.
He said that he was happy with the way his players responded down the stretch. He even insisted that Golden State managed to close the game nicely, and it was overall a good night for them. Well, he's not wrong. After all, at the end of the day, the win was taken by the Warriors. They led by 18 points after the first quarter, and Oklahoma City wasn't able to catch up to this lead. Steve said that the tone of the game was set in the first quarter, and that the Thunders were swimming upstream for the rest of the three quarters. Well, the Thunders might not have been able to surpass the Warriors this time around, but Josh has proved himself to be a threat to Curry. If he can keep up this level of playing in the near future, he might very well pose a threat to Stephen's legacy. Well, we'll be seeing more of him soon since the Thunders are still in the hunt for the playoffs. But we've also seen him make magic on the court in the past. Obviously, all his past achievements also play a big role in people's high hopes for him. Not just the fact that he threw a shot over Steph Curry. In fact, Josh's impact was felt early in his first season. When he was drafted, he was famous for being a jumbo guard that could do anything on the floor thanks to his size. He came into the league as one of the best young passers in the sport and a high upside glass cleaner. Josh was an immediate starter and soon made history, becoming the youngest player ever in the NBA to attain a triple-double. By the time his first season came to a close, he was Oklahoma City's leader in both assists and rebounds per game, even though he was a newcomer. The 20-year-old didn't slow down in his second year either. In his 90th NBA game, he was able to make history for the second time, when he grabbed a triple-double with an impressive performance of 18 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists. A game like this puts Josh among the elites of the sport, as he was able to get these numbers faster than almost every player in the history of the league. He is only the fourth player to pull this off, standing alongside Grant Hill, Ben Simmons, and Luka Doncic. Without a doubt, Josh is impressive and will be doing great things in the future. He might even threaten Stephen's position as the greatest shooter in the history of the league. But for now, he isn't anywhere near close enough to topping Steph's numbers. After all, he's up there with the greatest to have ever played the game. He's been NBA champion 4 times and NBA All-Star 8 times. Not to mention, he was the NBA MVP in 2015 and 2016, and the NBA Finals MVP last year. Steph also has the record for the greatest number of points scored in an overtime period. If surpassing Stephen really is Josh's goal, he's got his work cut out for him. But if what he's shown us is anything to go by, he's definitely got the potential for it. This is it for how Josh Giddey gave Stephen a taste of his own medicine, and if he's got what it takes to become the next greatest shooter in the league. See you guys in the next one.
And here's Pokashevsky, and he'll grab the rebound and runs. To Giddey for 3. And good.
That's what they want to do. They want to